Hi everyone, it's Justin here, Voices for Voices. Thank you so much for joining us here in the United States or abroad. If you could do us a big favor that is also free, give us a thumbs up, like, follow, subscribe, share, reshare, repost, all those things. Maybe you could also pull out your phone and uh, share the Voices for Voices podcast, TV show with 25 or 50 of your contacts in their phone. Again, all those are free and they help us get closer and closer to our goal of not only reaching, but helping 3 billion people over the course of my lifetime and beyond. Welcome to the Voices for Voices show. I am your host, Justin Allen Hayes. So grateful to have you with us. Uh, I uh, I came across a quote that I wanted to share because I think it'll help provide a little bit of clarity, especially on the days where it seems like we're not making any progress, where we're not sure if we're going to attain our goals, if we're getting closer to our goals, or if we're getting behind in our goals. And so when I was growing up, one of the artists that uh, I'll say was hot at the time, had a lot of hits uh, on the Billboard charts. Uh, Still not sure how that all works, how you get on the charts, if it's sales or now downloads or what. Anyways, so I want to talk about is 50 Cent, and I came across one of his quotes on a social media site over the weekend, and it basically says this. So it's a quote, direct quote from 50 Cent. You can't be inconsistent with the grind. You miss one day and your competition overtakes you. Wow. Is that the truth or is that the truth? I have to say, stay consistent with the work ethic, what we do. Might seem like I said earlier, like we're not getting anywhere. We're not getting close to our goals because we don't feel we don't feel like the goal is getting closer. So if it's an event, it might not feel like, oh my gosh, are we going to be able to pull this off? We have too many loose ends, too many vendors that we have to talk to, negotiate contracts, and it may seem like boring work. And in a way, it is. It's not glamorous, it's not sexy, it is just work. And that event, in this hypothetical example I'm given, the event's not going to happen if you or I doesn't do the work ahead of time. Some people think that events, shows, plays, movies, what have you, some people think that they just happen. Like, oh yeah, well, we just like let's make this video, this movie, let's write this song, let's perform this song, let's have a concert. It doesn't happen like that. There's a lot of hard work that goes in to get to that point. And so that's the glamorous part of being on stage or uh, publishing a book or a piece of art. And so we want to, as 50 Cent says, we got to keep grinding, and grinding can mean I got a comment from somebody. I don't even know. I have no idea who it is. Um, and it was probably meant to get a response. I deleted it. It didn't have anything to do with uh anything, and so it wasn't gonna be of use. So I deleted it because it wasn't really appropriate. Uh, when I was growing up, there, you know, they, they had clubs, dance clubs, this and so, kind of like the teenage dance clubs. There was one. It was called The Grind, and so people would stand outside this dance club and just wait sometimes like an hour just to get in. Uh, it was very interesting. I spent a lot of Fridays and Saturdays in my teenage years. Uh, I'll say younger teenage years. And and so that was like the dancing, grinding. What 50 Cent's referring to is the work grinding of like, all right, I'm just gonna keep at it. We'll keep putting shows together. We're gonna keep putting social media content out. We're going to keep planning and we're going to execute towards those plans and those goals. Um, and again, as he says, if you miss a day, like you miss a day at the gym, it's like, it's not a big deal. And it says, well, your competition is going to overtake you. The gym for me is more of well, number one, it's a health thing. Uh, and it's so easy not to go. I was thinking yesterday, I think it was yesterday, that because we talk about the newness of things, right? When something's new, it's like, okay, I'm going to stick to this regiment. But then after a period of time, whatever that is, the body is like, I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to go. And it's not hard. The distance remains the same between, take 5 minutes to get there. Uh, the only thing that's changed is the thing, what's going on in the mind and the brain. And, you have to push through that. And I think, yeah, that quote is the same. It's like, you know what? There's gonna be things we don't like to do that consistency is gonna be very hard. Uh, we're all gonna go through times where gym wise, we're gonna take an extra day off here and there. But what I've learned is as long as you're going on somewhat of a cadence, whether that's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, whether that's Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, whatever that may be, as long as you're kind of doing that, I mean, that's all anybody can ask for. Um, and so that's where I'm at. I'm not. I don't want to say I'm overextending myself, but I have a lot of years to catch up with my body. Uh, and I'm 44. I'm not 24, so it's not going to be the same. Uh, but with that being said, there's no reason why I can't go. I'm in decent, I guess, decent enough health to be able to go and to do workouts whether those are, weight workouts, cardio with my arms, which is actually something that I'm glad that there's an arm cardio where it's just like I've done it before. It's like you're pedaling a bike, but you're pedaling with your arms. You go front, forward, and then back. Uh, so we want to be, whether it's with our physical body, whether it's our mental body, uh, our spiritual side, we want to try to remain consistent. And and if you miss one day, I don't think it's the end of the world. I I don't think I don't think it's the end of the world like to miss a day. It's not saying, oh, if you miss a day, that's the end of the world. Like it's not. The quote is, I think, to encourage, during those times when we don't feel like going, we don't feel like doing something because it's boring, it's not fun, or I'm gonna have to, exert some energy, going to the gym, have to exert energy to pedal a bike, to walk around on a treadmill, to do the stair climber, the arm bike that I was referring to. Uh, and I think that's the key. I think that's all we can ask of ourselves. So I thought I would start out the show um, on that because I think it's so true that uh, it's easy to stop. It's easy to be lazy. And I'm talking about my my laziness. I've been lazy for about 20 years, maybe 17 or 18 years. I remember, yeah, yeah, we've talked about a lot of stuff like that. But yeah, I think we just need to find what works for us. I share my experiences, others share theirs. Whatever works for you, that that's what you do. Don't let other people tell you or demand that you have to do this workout for this many days of the week. And I don't, at least I'm not a person that, not anybody famous. I'm not anybody that has these gargantuous tours that they go on. Um, but all that to be said, I think we go when we can, and when we can, and then we do it, we do feel a little bit better. And I remember when I first started back just a couple weeks ago, just looking at the time that goes by, and it's like, wow, I've been here for 40 minutes and I haven't thought about any of the extra things that we're working on as an organization and collaborations. And that felt good to me because I was taking some, not all, but I was taking some of those thoughts and kind of putting those on hold. Like, okay, right now I'm doing the bench press. So I'm getting prepared, I'm getting focused, I'm finding, where the spots where my hands go and so that part was on my mind at that time. So I didn't have space um for anything else at that time. And I think that's the part that felt good. Felt real good. And so I'll, just keep on at it and we'll see where we're at in a few months and see if I've stuck to the plan. Uh, but yeah, we have this heat wave that's coming through and so we just want everybody to be safe, be cool, whether that, being indoors, cool, but being, air conditioning fans, because it's going to be really, really hot. I wouldn't put it past anybody that we might hit triple digits here where we live this week. Uh, so if you're out and about and you're landscaping, you're mowing grass or walking dogs, whatever takes you outside, uh, we just want to make sure everybody's being hydrated and taking breaks. Uh, that's all we can do because we don't want anybody to fall ill, with heat stroke or anything like that. And yeah, it's just I I reminisce all the time, sometimes more than others. And this past weekend, I was reminiscing, about my dad, and he's in heaven, and it sucks not being able to be with him here on earth. He was he was I don't say a grilling machine. Wasn't a machine, but that was just something that he liked to do. He would he would be grilling chicken or ribs or sometimes salmon, steaks, hamburgers, hot dogs, what have you. And that was something he enjoyed doing and listening to the baseball games or whatever games or sometimes talk shows on the radio. And every time I uh, go by my mom and dad's house and stop and spend time, uh, it's hard. You're trying to be strong, trying to do the best that we can without, a very important person in our family. And yeah, it what it does I talk about in therapy about grounding, about being present in the moment. And for me, nothing brings me more present in the moment than when I go to my mom and dad's house and my dad's not there in physical body. It's my mom. And it's hard. Some people say, oh, yeah, it's easy to get past, or, everybody's different. I allow, other people to grieve and, handle things like that they're going through in the ways that are going through it. And so for me, I look at things in that way for me that, sometimes we have, like 50 Cent, have this grind, we're doing these tasks, we're doing these projects, and it doesn't seem like things are coming to fruition, and then we can kind of see a little bit of the ending, the end of the tunnel, and then next thing you know, we don't. And so when you couple that with, the loss of somebody so important that sometimes we take advantage of things because we think, well, this is just the way it's going to be. I'm gonna wake up in the morning and then all these things are going to be consistent. I mean, I miss a lot of things about my dad. Going to the ball games. We would do that just on a whim. Just be, hey, you want to go to the game? Yeah, let's go. I talked about this before, back when you're able to kind of go to the observation deck at airports. Uh, that was something that I don't know how often we would do it. I can't give like a number, but I think that's where my love for traveling, excuse me, flying on airplanes, that's where it came from, is because we would be at the observation deck and we would see airplanes, they would load up the passengers at the gate in the terminal. They'd have the tow motor, push the plane back, and then the plane or planes, would work their way to the main runway to take off. And then we would see planes that would land too. And we really didn't know how many planes we would see, if we would see any. But it was just something we were able to kind of bond over, sports, if we were still able to go to the observation decks at airports. When he was alive, we would be doing that. And I wanna take my daughter, but we can't go inside the observation deck. We have to find a spot where overhead planes would be taken off or landing, depending on the direction of the wind. Things are just, life's hard. I think a lot of us know that, but when things are going good all the time, or a majority of the time, whether that's a high salary or a title that's high, you're managing people and get stock options or whatever, it's easy to go, oh yeah, life's easy, or it's easier because we're able to make this money, we're able to do these things. But then once a restructure or layoffs come and and people are looking for new employment, it's usually only then that people reevaluate. Not always, but people reevaluate where they're at in life if what they've been doing is something that they want to do. And that's part of what happened with me. The grind could be 8 to 5 or 8 to 8 or 9 to 5, whatever the boss would say. And while that works for a lot of people, as you know, for me, it doesn't. Sometimes there's calls after 5, sometimes there's projects, sometimes we're dropping shows, so we got to do all of the mundane, administrative type of work, finding the title, description, the hashtags, all those things. Uh, have the highest quality file, both for the video and the audio. Again, these things aren't hard, and I'm not trying to say that they're hard, but that for me, that's the grind. It's like I can't drop an episode right after I finish filming it. Like there's a bunch of steps that go into getting an episode ready to roll and dropping it and getting all the links for all the different platforms. So there's a lot to do. And that's not the glamorous part. People say, "Oh, well, you have a show and in front of the camera and you're just like boasting and talking." Look, I've been to, don't usually say it like this, but I've been to hell and back many times. So the people that you want to think that, oh, it's so glamorous. Oh, he's got his organization, Voices for Voices. They have all these episodes, and all we're doing is saying facts. We just say we have this many episodes. There's nothing wrong with that. It's like saying when it's 90 degrees and sunny, oh, the sun's out. Or, oh, The temperature gauge in my car says 90 degrees. So the temperature must be around 90 degrees. It's those types of things. But thank you very much for joining us on this episode. If you can please give us the thumbs up, like, follow, subscribe, share, reshare, repost, and reach into your phone and share the Voices for Voices podcast wherever you and your contacts get their podcasts. Let them know about the Voices for Voices podcast. We're just overwhelmed at times how many new viewers and listeners we have, and we wouldn't if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have a show to do. So thank you for allowing us to use this and many other platforms to share and to help. We're very grateful for how much, if you've listened to every single episode, or if this is your first episode, thank you very much for choosing to spend it with us. So until next time, let's celebrate the voices of everyone and let's be a voice for you or somebody in need. We'll see you next time, everybody. Bye bye.